Hello everyone, today we have new video review and just give me a second, I need to see what is happening with the live stream. So as you remember, we decided to restart the live stream, so I have the new layout, I have also the some of the new settings for the equipment, so I hope it will be working now. But I'm not sure what is happening with the internet because YouTube does not show the proper layout. So just give me a sec. Yes, now it works and now it doesn't. Okay, now you should be able to see it. So, first of all, here we have fresh release from Special Hobby. It is molded in 1/72 scale, and as you can see, it copies AW Meteor NF Mk.12. It's a special edition which named as Defending UK Skies, so it's not difficult to guess that here we will have the British markings inside. This is a 1/72 scale plastic, so it might be interesting for those who usually build the aircraft models in such small scale. So first of all, here we have the typical Special Hobby box size, and we have quite nice box art. Here you can see comparison with my hand. It's not such a huge box, I would say. And then if we flip it over, here on the sides you can see some information about the kit. It's quite a typical stuff which is written on Special Hobby kits. So we are going to open this box and take a look inside. So first of all, this is a top opening box, and here's what we have inside. As you can see, there is an assembly manual right on the top, but obviously we'll check it a bit later, so I move it aside. I would like to start with plastic. Plastic is packed into one plastic bag, so all sprues in one bag. This is a resealable plastic bag, so you can use it a bit later. Nevertheless, we are going to take a closer look in a second, so just give me a moment. In the meantime, let me remind you that you can support us financially. It is quite easy because it's done via PayPal. There is a special donate button on our website, so you can just click it and decide on how much you would like to send us in order to get the new photo and video equipment, or maybe some new kit you would like to be reviewed. Okay, so here we had all plastic frames packed into the same plastic bag, so I would like to start with this plastic frame. And now just give me a second to center it. We zoom in a bit. And now you should be able to see it. So here we have wing parts. As you can see, both wing halves are molded together with engine gondolas. And that's really great because, I mean, here you won't have to assemble them separately. External detailing looks more or less fine, I would say, but note that recessed panel lines are not that deep, so you have to be careful while painting this model so that you won't lose any of those panel lines under thick layer of paint or primer. And it sometimes happens, so be careful and take care of it. Also, here we have some minor elements. This will be attached for the landing gear doors and some other stuff. Molding quality seems to be fine, but let's not forget that this is not a completely new plastic, so that's why we can see signs of its age, let's say, but it's not such a huge problem, I would say. Next we have another plastic frame. This one is more concerned with various minor elements. So as you can see here, we have various internal and external parts. Here, for example, you can see beads for the engine. Here we have the cockpit floor, which is molded together with front wheel well, as you can see here. And again, molding quality seems to be fine, so the only thing you should be aware of is the size of these parts. So as you can see here, some of them are really tiny, so you will have to use tweezers. Otherwise it will be almost impossible to apply them into the right spot, let's say. Next we have another plastic sprue with mix of parts, and here we have landing gear wheels, which are quite strange in my opinion. You can see that mud guards are molded together with landing gear wheels, and they should be glued out of two hulls. So that's not such a cool feature in 2019, it's almost 2020, and I think there should be a CMK kit which upgrades this section of the aircraft, and I would recommend to get it so that you have more convincing appearance on your aircraft. Doesn't matter that it is only 1/72 scale, still it will be noticeable on the landing gear wheels. And once we flip it over, here you can see that at least inside we have some guiding pins, which will help you with alignment of those parts together. Okay. Next we have another plastic frame. This one is dedicated to fuselage halves. So both fuselage halves are molded together with tail segment and also with rudder. We have again recessed panel lines, but note that nose cone is pre-molded, so you have to be careful while joining all this stuff together, because otherwise you might end up with really ugly seams in such visible areas. Here we have also tail wings, which are molded as one-piece parts, and if we flip it over, here we can notice that there are minor guiding pins which should help you with alignment. And that's pretty much all. No cockpit detailing, because cockpit will be assembled separately as far as I remember. So, I mean, here you won't be able to do that much, let's say. Next we have another plastic sprue. This is actually the last gray plastic sprue in this kit. So as you can see here, we have various cockpit parts, and I guess these ones will be used for today's version because it had slightly different cockpit. And I can zoom in so that you can see it closer. Here it is. And overall molding quality again seems to be fine. Here you can see parts from another side. No flash or any other possible molding damage. So I guess it will be easy to work with these parts and assemble them together. Next we have plastic bag with clear sprue. So just give me a second to adjust my seat. So here we have the separate plastic bag which should protect those clear parts from possible scratches. I'm going to open it, and as you can guess, we do not have any masks included, and moreover this part is molded as one-piece element, so you won't be able to open the cockpit on your aircraft, and that might be said for some models, but let's not forget that this is a 1/72nd scale kit, so it should be pretty fine in my opinion if you are not that, I would say, demanding from small scale kit. Okay, another plastic bag. Here we have decals, and I'm going to open it and we'll check it closer. So just a moment. It's surprising that we do not have any PE parts included, because usually Special Hobby includes some PE parts in such kits, but here we do not have any of them. So I mean, maybe they will be sold separately, who knows. Here we have decal sheets, so on them you'll get all necessary symbols. I do not see any symbols for the cockpit, which is also quite surprising. No dials for the instrument panel, so you have to do some dry brushing in order to get a more or less convincing finish on your kit. Next we have assembly manual, of course, so just give me a second. Here it is. Let's zoom out. Now you should be able to see it. So it's a typical Special Hobby brochure. We have short history note on the first page. Then on the second page we have parts map. Note that many parts won't be used, which is quite surprising in my opinion. Next, the assembly process starts obviously with the frontal section, so it means the cockpit area and also frontal wheel wells. Here you can see assembly of the pilot wheels. Note that cockpit walls will be glued separately, and then they will be inserted, I mean a whole sub-assembly will be inserted here into the fuselage half. So that's why we did not have any, I would say, cockpit detailing in this kit, which is not that surprising. Okay, next. We continue working by joining the fuselage halves together. Here we work on the engine gondolas. There will be a minor I would say section of the engine replicated on this kit, but do not consider opening the engine gondolas because we do not have any detailed engine here. I guess you will have to source the CMK resin kit for this if you would like to get a bit more detailed copy of this aircraft. Next, here we continue with wings assembly. So wings are glued separately and then they are joined together with fuselage. Here we continue with landing gear wheels, and next we install the front landing gear, and here we install the fuel tanks and then the canopy here. That's the first marking option from 1954. I guess that's the same as we saw on the box art. Next we continue with another aircraft from 1957, 1955, and here we have the stencil placement guide. So in total there are 3 marking options, and that's more or less okay for 1/72nd scale in my opinion, but of course you can find some aftermarket sets for this plastic if you are not satisfied with what is included here in this kit. Nevertheless, plastic itself is more or less fine. I mean, considering its age, and it still looks good. So if you would like to build a Meteor in small 1/72 scale, especially this particular version, you have an option to assemble the special hobby kit. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this plastic here in the comment section below. Write it there and I will be happy to answer you. Of course, don't forget to press the like button because it helps us greatly. And you can also subscribe so that you won't miss any fresh video review. And I will see you in the next video as usual. Thank you for watching, thank you for joining me today, and bye!